Like, stop being, the people who are stubborn about the how lose. So you're super stubborn on the why and flexible on the how. And most people don't have a why. Most people don't have a why and then are stuck on some irrelevant how. If you have a 10-year goal for yourself, you're thinking small.
I was talking to I met up with my best friend, Michael.
Yep.
Last week, and we got to catch up finally. And he asked me a question. He said, what's your plan in 5 to 10 years?
I hate that question.
Right, like where do you see yourself going? And
I still hate that question.
Yeah.
But okay.
And so I was caught off guard.
Okay.
The answer I gave him is the one I came up on the spot, but I felt the most, because I've been asked this by a bunch of students of mine and all this stuff. And the answer I gave him is, I am pursuing a world where everybody feels like they belong and they can have conversations that they're too afraid to have because they're worried about being judged.
Okay, so why are you unhappy with that?
It's the Martin Luther King, I believe children of all colors will hang out together.
Love
and
it.
it's
But why do you have a problem with it?
it's just the scope of it is overwhelming.
It's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
Great, so why is it overwhelming now? It's never gonna happen.
But then what the hell do I say to, why would I even believe it if it's never gonna happen? That's ridiculous. Sorry, hold on.
It is ridiculous.
I know, look, I know. Okay, so let me just clarify this.
Okay.
There's a part where it's like you create such a massive belief system that it feeds you throughout the weeks and the months, because your vision, it's like, I care about people, and my drive to serve and care about people will never end.
Okay.
I will always want to do that. And so I get that sort of element of having a big thing, but it's more of who I am. What I'm talking about is being an influencer to the world and saying that I want everybody to feel like they belong and have the conversations that they're too afraid to have because they're worried about being judged, and feel like they're enough in their skin. And so what does that look like? Does that look like that TDS is in all the major cities, and like we're creating that culture? And I'm like, I don't know, is that possible? Can that be done? Maybe, probably, yeah. It's doable.
That's why it's a terrible question. Because the how is going to change. If Mike knows where he's going to be in 10 years, then he's thinking incredibly small. To think that you know what you can accomplish in 10 years right now, that you know the kind of person you're going to be in 10 years, means you are really short-sighted. You're selling yourself short.
But where you are based on
your goals. Where were you 10 years ago? You think you'd ever be doing this in 10 years?
Someone else asked me, they're like, about TDS.
Yeah.
They're like, are you gonna be with TDS? Like, what are you gonna do after TDS? I'm like, after. I'm like, this is it.
Okay.
And the person says, like, that's very limiting. Like, no, I'm like, I'm gonna be 70, I'm gonna be doing this. And now that we're talking right now, I'm like, is that it? Like.
But even what is TDS can evolve and change. What is your role within TDS? Do you want to keep teaching classes forever? Do you want to have a franchise system? Do you want to be a thought leader making virtual reality videos and training people? Do you want to be a speaker going around the world? What? Who knows?
I guess I'm so tied into the physical location.
But it could be. It might be having multiple locations. The thing is, there has to be progress. Like having one location still when you're 70 is not helping achieve.
Oh my God.
But that's it. That's it.
Jesus.
Like where does Mike want to be in 10 years? Whatever his answer is wrong. Like throw that away immediately. Because even if he goes and accomplishes it, even if he thinks that's ambitious right now, it's not ambitious. It's not ambitious.
It's weird that you're saying that don't plan. You can't know where you're going to be in 10 years.
How is that weird? Where are you going to be in 10? I don't know.
But having a vision for the business, as an entrepreneur,
of course.
Having a vision for the business, I want the business to be here in 10 years. That's wrong too? How, or am I seeing Am I understanding it differently? Like
You
having
have
a vision
your-
for the business and the goals, right? Like,
You have a vision for what you want to build.
okay.
You want a vision for the world that you want to create. That's
Yeah.
never going to happen. So release yourself of the burden and responsibility, because it's never going to happen. You're just getting up every day and trying to do your best.
I'm getting so frustrated right now. you need to explain this better.
All I think you should have is a lifetime mission. And then your short-term goals. Like, what are you doing for the next 3 months? 5 years ago, when Steve, my agent, said, you should write a book, I said, Steve, you're stupid. I don't want a book. I don't want a book. I don't need a book. You need a book to open doors. I can open doors. I have my YouTube channel. The world of having to have a book to be recognized is over. You don't need a book anymore. I have 2 books now. And I feel bad because people lock themselves in. My very first intern turned employee, this guy who I hired from, he was Iraqi during, like, right after the Iraq War.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a Skype call. This guy has like this super sketchy Skype profile. He's on this internship program to come to Canada for 3 months or 6 months. I had to vouch for him because otherwise he couldn't get in. So this guy from, it's Iraqi guy who I have one Skype phone call with. I have to admit, like, if he does anything wrong, it's on me because I'm bringing him into the country. Like, okay, let's do it. Something felt right? Like, bet on the guy. Great, he comes. He now has a business around Google AdWords. He's a business around Google AdWords. And I met him recently. And he's still doing Google AdWords, helping businesses with their Google AdWords. Mm-hmm. It's an increasingly losing game to be the Google AdWords guy. He shouldn't be in that business anymore.
Why?
Because Google AdWords is harder and harder to make money from.
Oh, okay.
It shouldn't be about Google AdWords. It should be about helping people use online advertising to promote their business. Where now he should be into Facebook and Instagram.
So what you're saying is when you make a commitment into what you're doing, how you're executing things currently,
You lose.
You lose.
Yeah. Don't be, all of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time are insanely stubborn on the why. You're stubborn as anything on the why. This has to happen. Why we're doing this doesn't change, ever. But the how, you're flexible on. How you do it, I don't care. Right now, I'm doing YouTube. Do I think in 10 years I'm still gonna be doing YouTube? I don't know, probably not. We're gonna be doing VR. You're gonna see virtual reality Evan coming in your face. Right? Even now, I'm spending more time on Instagram than I ever did.
Yeah.
My lives 4 times a week versus once on YouTube, I like it better. I'm enjoying it. Maybe I just dump YouTube and go all in on Instagram. Like, stop being, the people who are stubborn about the how lose. Same thing, like if you try to photocopy yourself and have Christy do it like this,
Yeah.
you lose. So you're super stubborn on the why and flexible on the how. And most people don't have a why. And then are stuck on some irrelevant how. So,
Go back to the question.
what does belong mean? You know, the world that you want to create. I think what you gave is a great answer. Like, I'm proud of you for that answer. I thought you would have given a really crappy answer, to be honest. Like, something you're not proud of. Like, I want TDS to be, when I asked you before, like, I want TDS to be in 10 locations. Like, who cares? Don't worry about that.
But this is the thing, like, the reason that answer came out was out of my frustration that I thought I wasn't good enough to give the answer of, I thought it was.
That's the greatest answer of all time. What's Mike's answer? Piece of garbage. That's what his answer is. Mike, if you're watching this, your answer is a piece of garbage.
Don't say that.
Wherever he thinks he's going to be in 10 years is garbage compared to where he could be. Compared to where he could be, what he could be. Because once you get stubborn on the how, you'll go get your how. You'll make that how happen. But it's extremely small compared to the how that you could have had. And that's the trap that successful people fall into, high achievers. Because you go and you max out the how, amazing, but you should be 10 times that big. You should be way off into a different planet. But you got too stubborn on your how. So you don't ultimately lose, but you lose compared to what you could have done.
But I remember this clear conversation where I asked you, like, what's your vision? And you said, I want to help 1 billion entrepreneurs. I think that was your answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but that's not, what does that even mean?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
But my answer to Michael was my understanding of what you were talking about.
Here's the thing. It means whatever I want it to mean. How about that?
Jesus, don't be a mystery wrapped in
but like that's what it is.
Kind of
Listen,
thing, you know?
I want to. Even people ask me, how do I track 1 billion entrepreneurs? How do you know when you've done it? I don't want to track it. We're not tracking this. This is a lifetime, never going to happen goal.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
The point is that it focuses my projects on impacting a lot of people. Why don't I do one-on-one coaching a lot? Because I want to help 1 billion people. I want to touch a lot of people in a small way instead of 5 people in a major way.
Yeah.
It's what I want to do. So when I say I want to help 1 billion people, great. It gears my actions. Why did I write a book? Because I think it's going to get me closer to that goal. Why are we filming this video? It's going to get me closer to that goal. And you might say, hey, listen, stop making videos. That's not the path. You should be doing X, Y, Z. Like, okay, I'm open to it. What's the path? Tell me how to accomplish my goal. But the goal is never accomplishable. Like, you have built a house of belong. It's what we're building here. It's a house of belong. Will people always need a physical place to come to and meet people and feel like they belong? If they do, then great. Then maybe we should build an empire of houses of belongs. Like maybe,
Church of belong.
Yeah, like
Church
maybe
of belong.
every city needs its own house of belong.
Church of belong. The circle.
If you have a 10-year goal for yourself, you're thinking small.
Okay. Thank you.
Raise your standard.
Apple at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
If you want more of my thoughts on how to beat the judgment of other people, go check out the video next to me. I think you're going to enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I think people are so worried about other people's judgment that they don't even try. And that ends up being the biggest failure of all.